Hello Aries, Elsie here to do a reading. It is for the week ahead. How you doing, my fire family? I'm here with these oracles here. We're going to use those for the overall energy for next week, whatever that's going to feel like. We'll find out. That's how I read. If you've never been here before, you wouldn't know that. So welcome if you're brand new. Welcome to all the shenanigans. And I'm going to read these oracles, and then we're going to throw some tarot on it. We're going to find out what is happening. I usually generally read for the week ahead, but look, we're not all at the same place at the same time in our healing and on our path. So this could resonate sometime later in the month for you. Take it as it does resonate, and please leave behind what isn't yours. Don't give your energy over to a tarot reader. Aries, let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Look at the end of this video. I am going to tell you how to find the extended if you're interested in that. Or if you're interested in a private read, I'll tell you about that as well. Aries, let's find out what's going on for you in the week ahead, my friend. Thank you if you're coming back, if you're here, and you're always here. My ride or die Aries, thanks for doing that. Let's find out what's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got new supportive connections. So it looks like you're about to meet a new person or maybe some new people. It might be out while you're enjoying doing something creative. These two people here are painting. So it could be like at a paint night, you know, when they have those paint and wine nights. Maybe it's at a paint night, maybe it's at a studio, maybe you are an artist. But it looks like it's probably at a time when you are very creative, using the creative side of your brain. Tell me about Aries. We've got wisdom. Why do we have wisdom here? Tell me more about Aries. Got the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month. So in the middle of the month, it looks like beginning, middle, and end of the week. Looks like in the middle of the week, there's some type of wisdom that's coming to you here. One more card. We've got happiness. Look, that's not a bad week, right? Looks like at the end of the week, you're experiencing something happy. Let's take a look at the bottoms of the decks, because for me, this is just as important as everything I've laid out here. So bottom of the deck is what happens in the future, and this could happen at any time in the future. We've got great achievement. So it feels like you'll either be honored by a group of people or a person, but it could also be that you're being invited somewhere to like a wedding or this, you know, I'm looking at all the place settings and stuff here. It could be like a wedding or a, what would you say, a retirement dinner or something like that. Oh, gut deception. We will deal with that later if we need to. Bottom of the deck, we have inner peace. So it feels like whatever it is going to give you happiness and joy. Where'd that go? Oh, happiness here, yeah. Happiness and joy here. Inner peace, the koi fish to me are sort of dreamlike energy. They're very dreamy. It feels like Pisces, Cancer energy a little bit. The inner peace here is what's coming from this great achievement. It does feel to me more and more like it's maybe your great achievement and people will be honoring you. It's maybe the great achievement. Possibly it's not a dinner. Maybe it's just the achievement of achieving inner peace. Maybe the achievement is inner peace. We've got forgiveness. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And I've said this before as I pull out this deck with this forgiveness bit here. It blocks the flow of love. And listen, if you're at odds with one person in your life and you have you're harboring some sort of resentment with someone, that doesn't just block that relationship with that person. It blocks period. It blocks relationship, period. So forgiveness is really necessary, and not just for them, but for you. You need to forgive yourself for how you reacted or for having the grudge. It's really, forgiveness is never for them. It's to release you. So I hope that you decide to do that. That's probably part of your inner peace. I love this card of happiness here because it says, I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. And I've said that to you guys before. If you've seen it, maybe you haven't. But that literally is how you know when you're on the right path. It's not dramatic. You're not angry, pissed off, annihilating people in the comments. You're not in a bad mood. You're not saying terrible, awful, horrible things against people. When you are happy, you are on the right path. That's how you know you're in the right direction. That's part of the wisdom, I think. Let's look at some tarot. Tell me about Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aries. What do we need to know about Aries' new supportive connection? we've got the Seven of Pentacles. This may be someone that you meet at the workplace, Aries, or someone who does the same kind of work as you. The Seven of Pentacles is here. I think that you've been waiting to make a connection with a person in your life who will understand you, understand your work ethic, understand what you do for a living, or possibly that you're just a really hard worker. I want to say with the Seven of Pentacles, it's all about throwing your seeds of intention and then nurturing, right? So it feels like you have an intention possibly to meet somebody new or to work on a new friendship. And I think if you're calling it in, here it comes, I would say. Seven of Pentacles. Tell me about wisdom. The wisdom of the Empress. Yes. You don't get to become the Empress unless you have wisdom. That's who the Empress is. You can't be an Empress just because you're a Libra or a Taurus. That's not the way it goes down. You need to have wisdom. And that means that you're unlikely to be an Empress when you're in the younger years of your life. And you might be someone who accumulates a lot of lessons very early in life. But it's unlikely in the younger years of life that you're going to be the Empress. The Empress is somebody who's responsible for creation. So this person is creating humans, but they also are creating new beginnings. They're just in a very creative stage of their life. But all four queens is who the Empress is. And the Empress is somebody who is confident and well-rounded and has boundaries and has a lot of wisdom. So I feel like there's it's like a realization in the middle of the week of your Empress energy, whether you're feminine or masculine, because Taurus energy is feminine energy and Libra energy is masculine energy. Tell me about happiness. What's making you happy here? We've got, the Six of Swords. I kind of love that because look, it feels like what you're doing is you're leaving a very chaotic past or a chaotic part of your life in the past. And I was just saying, right, if your life is chaotic or dramatic, or you're fighting with people and angry and annihilating people in public forums like in my comment section, it's unlikely that you're in a happy direction. It's unlikely that you're on the right path. So the Six of Swords tells me somebody here is leaving it behind. I'm just going to leave that behind. It's not even worth me stressing out over here. Feels like you are in transition to happiness because of wisdom. Look, knowing what to do is so important. Knowing how to handle people and things and places and situations is so important. It's through wisdom that we know how to do all of that. I'm going to put a couple cards down here. This is going to be for the week ahead. This is going to be for the weeks after that. What else do we need to know about Aries? We've got the Knight of Swords. Something is coming up that is going to make you very happy. It could be a family thing. It doesn't have to be, but the Ten of Cups is about togetherness, about family happiness. But you can be single and still be in the Ten of Cups energy. Happiness seems to be a theme here. The Ten of Cups, of course, Ten of Cups Tarot, right? It's all about the apex of happiness. And I feel like the Knight of Swords is telling me it's like aggressive happiness. I want to say maybe somebody says something to you that really makes you elated because the Knight of Swords is Gemini, and Gemini is very honest and truthful and is just going to say their piece. And that somebody here might say something really positive. All right, let's go back to the beginning here and find out what this new supportive connection is about at the beginning of the week. Tell me about the Seven of Pentacles here. It feels like you've been waiting on this. You've been waiting on a person that gets you, Aries, is what it feels like. We've got the World here in the reverse, but look, it was in the deck, in the upright, and then it traveled onto my arm and onto the table and flipped upside down. It's good to notice those things. It feels like you have left a door open somewhere and you're waiting for people to follow you in, but I feel like what's going to help you close the old chapter here is that you're about to meet somebody new, a new friend, a new love interest, whatever that is. We've got the Four of Swords. Yeah, this person's going to help you with your healing, I feel. This person is going to help you with your stability of the mind. They're going to help you with your healing. They're going to help you let go. Realize that you've been sort of hanging on to the 10 swords. And being happy means that you learn how to release. And so the 10 of Swords is really about the release. And a lot of people will live in the 9 of Swords, Aries, because they know that going to the 10 is really painful. And it is. Making the decision to cut someone out of your life or release someone or a situation or quit a job or whatever it is, something that's been going on for a while, a whole cycle. Sometimes letting go of it can be more painful than the thought of allowing whatever's going on to continue. So I feel like this this World card being in the reverse here is telling me that you left a door open somewhere because you're hoping that somebody's going to follow you into the next cycle of your life. And I think you've been standing here waiting. I don't think they're coming. So it feels like you want somebody to change and grow and move into your vibration of the Empress. And whether you're feminine or masculine, I feel like you're waiting for someone to follow you into your vibration, but I just don't think they're ready. I feel like you've done more healing than them. I think that you're supposed to stop waiting and go with these new supportive connections that you're going to make here. I feel like you're going to meet a new soul tribe. And you're going to meet new people who get you, who like to do the things you do, who are as passionate about their life as you are. But I feel like you're going to have to learn to close that door first. Look at this. We've got the Fool again. We had it come out in the upright on my hand and flip over onto the table. We've got the Fool in the reverse here. Tell me what else is going on with this Wisdom. They're flipping here. We've got the Five of Swords. There's something here you don't feel you're ready for. It's like maybe you don't feel like you're ready to let go of... You possibly could be holding a grudge with someone. It's like you can't let it go. You can't let it go. It feels like the Five of Swords is... For me, it's like we never really did agree on that, and we probably have very different lives and very different viewpoints. Maybe we don't agree on some fundamental things in our lives, politics, religion. It feels like there is somebody here that has grown in wisdom and has realized that maybe it wasn't necessarily the best fit. I think that you're coming to the wisdom of that. In your Empress energy, it feels like you're now creating boundaries. You're now realizing that life is less dramatic without somebody following you into the new cycle. When the Fool is in the reverse, it's not only you're not very excited about entering the new chapter, but it also feels like you're doing it, maybe not out of spite, but it feels like you're going to do it anyway, but you feel like a fool. Like, I'm going to do this myself. I could follow my ass. I'm not really sure. I feel like somebody here has tried to talk you out of your growth or your wisdom. I feel like this is a place where you're going to start trusting your intuition more. Queen of Cups is part of the Empress energy. I feel like you're making the leap because you're just trying to save face or showing somebody, look, I'm not going to listen to your rhetoric. I'm not going to listen to whatever you're saying. I think somebody here is telling you, fine, go. You're never going to do it without me. You're never going to find the kind of support that I give you. I feel like in your wisdom, you realize that this is all BS here. This Five of Swords, this is all BS. We've got the Hierophant because you've got everything that you need, my friend. I feel like you are solid and sturdy. You're good. It feels like you're on a really good path, a spiritual path, or a religious path that you believe in. It feels like you believe in yourself. You're listening to the higher self, which means you're listening to the inner self, right? The inner critic, but also the one that is pushing you along. I feel like you keep under the surface how people really get under your skin. That's what it feels like, because the Hierophant is kind of Taurus energy, if you can think about that. Like, I'm a Taurus sun. I am never going to let the person across from me, never going to let them know that they got under my skin. I'm just not going to do it. That's not who I am. It's solid and sturdy. I also feel like you're a super loyal person. And I think that whoever is in your life that comes at you in the middle of the week, it feels like this person almost taunts you. Yeah, you're not going to do it without me. I don't know what you think you're doing. I'm just going to say that you don't really give a challenge to Aries, because Aries is going to take on every challenge, every single damn challenge. So I feel like really what's making you happy here is you go from the Five to the Six Swords. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not holding grudges. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm on my path. I want it to be solid and sturdy. I know that I'm a loyal person. I think that's what you're saying. I know that I'm a loyal friend. I know that I'm a loyal person, but I am going to close this door. I'm just going to release it and let it go. It's time for me to close this door, get rid of this unfinished business here. Feels like the Six of Swords is the clincher. It's like you've decided I'm no longer going to live in the chaos of allowing people to come in and out of my life from other vibrations and try and drag me backwards. I feel like it's going to be necessary for your happiness to move forward here. That's what it feels like. Let's talk about the Six of Swords and happiness here. We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Nine of Cups. Yeah, in order for you to have your inner happiness, because the Nine of Cups is that, it's a happiness that you've built all on your own, Aries. I feel like you're realizing that you really don't need external validations. You don't need anybody to tell you you're doing good. You know you're doing good. The Queen of Wands is here with a wand in hand, and then we have the Nine of Wands. I feel like you are departing or detaching from the Nine of Wands energy. I feel like you've realized that there are people in your life who are meant to push you into the next vibration, whether that's through antagonizing you, telling you you couldn't, being in the Five of Swords with you, arguing your path, whatever it is. I feel like you should thank them, because I feel like it's that is pushing you forward to make these big, bold moves in your life here. That you will walk through fire just to say to these people back here, yeah, I told you I was going to do it, so now you can shut up. So I feel like this Queen of Wands is the one who is, out front, is the leader, making bold moves toward happiness. And I feel like in order to do that, you really are going to have to finally disconnect or detach from the people that are in your past. And I think you're ready to do that anyway. You're ready to move forward to new, happier connections here. I feel like somebody comes in quickly. I'm going to say like a new, happier connection here. Tell me about the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords. We've got the Five of Pentacles. We've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got the Ten of Wands. Oh, look, we got 10 wands here, 10 wands here. So it does feel like this person shows up after you finally have released the heavy emotional weighing, like the weigh down, I'm going to say. Like I feel like you've had heavy emotions weighing on you, because detaching from what is no longer for you is really hard. It's lonely. And there is going to be a period in the in-between while you are leaving one vibration and haven't yet started another, because this Fool being in the reverse, you haven't not yet started the next chapter of your life. There is a space and time in there with the Five of Pentacles where you are going to feel a little lonely. And we all go through this, by the way. And you could be in your 30s saying, nah, that's not going to happen to me. But look, you get into a place in your life and you start realizing that you only have one life that you're going to remember living, and you might as well do that whole thing up right now. And you can't let people hold you back or hold you down. I feel like what you're doing is this is like the quiet before the storm, or the detached period before this new cycle begins for you. But I feel like that happiness is barreling at you pretty quickly, but it is going to come on the heels of you finally releasing, dumping, or letting go of this feeling like you're alone. Like you're alone in this world, because I don't think that you are. In fact, I think that you have an opportunity to meet some new people that's coming up likely in the week ahead. I'm going to put down 3 cards here. We are going to talk more about what is going on here. We're going to clarify a bunch of this, find out why you left the cycle open, why you don't want to step forward, who's this person that's arguing with you, arguing against your wisdom. It feels like you've done a lot of growing and you're ready to go to the next vibration, but I feel like there's like people or a soul tribe or friends or family that are holding you back, and they're saying you're not going to be able to do that. Let's find out what is going to go on in the extended. If you'd like to join us in the extended, please do that. Go to the top of the comment section there, and you will find there's a pinned comment. It will tell you how to buy this extension straight up if you would like to just watch this extension, but you can get all 4 in a month. You can get all the extensions in the membership area if you'd like to join us there. And if you're interested in a private read, please look at the link for Hypsee. Go look at my pricing if you'd like to. Also, I'm doing live reads. Thank you so much for your bookings. Live reads have been so much fun. And only on the live reads is where you're going to get your discounts. You're going to get a discount just for booking ahead. You can ask me as many questions in the live read as possible. That does not happen in the pre-recorded readings. I'm still doing pre-recorded readings, but it's either 1 or 3 questions. And the live readings are kind of fun because it's a little bit of rapid fire, and I like that. All right, let's find out what is going on in the extended. We got the 8 of Swords in the reverse. I like it. Ooh, King of Swords. Good. 2 of Pentacles. Look, you're making a decision here. You know what it is? I feel like it's been a hard decision for you to make, but it's time for the discipline to kick in here. It's time for you to get your emotional energies balanced, because I feel like a breakthrough is coming. The 8 of Swords tells me that you're no longer going to be stuck in the mind. You're no longer going to give your your emotional energy over to anyone else. It feels like with this 8 of Swords in the reverse that you've decided, I'm no longer going to be stuck here. I've got to go. I've got to go to the new vibration. Even if people don't follow me, I'm going to have to break away and release them. The King of Swords knows what to do, knows the facts, knows the figures, knows to be honest with themselves. And truthfully, this is Aquarius energy. Truthfully, Aquarius can deliver the honesty and the truth in a little bit of a brutal manner, because it's all about head over heart for Aquarius. And so I feel like you're coming to some sort of a brutal honesty with yourself, that it's time for me to stop trapping myself in an old vibration, because I don't want to let go of the people who are too scared to travel along with me. I feel like you're finally making a decision, even though it's kind of worrying you, but I think you're coming to a place where you're having the breakthrough and you've got to keep moving. Feels like it's coming up on you quickly. We're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, you know what to do. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back, Aries. And I'll see you if you're in the extended. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.